has it been a fucking break? I'm saying it's been about 3-4 weeks.
Hey, look, every car needs gas. Every you always got to recharge. You got to refill.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it because it's a new year. It is 2020.
That's right.
PartyNerdz in the new millennium. Wow, and look, we got the crew back. We got the crew back. To my right, we have Dev Nasty himself, Mr. Dev Nasty. By the way, you could call him Bruce Leroy. Leroy.
Man, this is a Karate Kid style joint, man.
I was going to give you Dragonfly Jones, but go ahead.
Yeah. That's cool.
Man, I could call you the Black Ricky Steamboat.
That too. That works.
Blackie Steamboat.
Blackie.
So, welcome back, Dev, man. How you been, man? How's life?
I'm cool, man. New contract, new situation for my other show, so.
And if you guys don't know what this other show is, you guys are definitely missing out. What is it?
I ain't saying it.
It's $1 million worth of game.
$1 million worth of game with Gilly, Wallow, and Dev Nasty. You guys, if you haven't watched it, check it out. You know, on Barstool, it is they crazy. They are crazy on another level, but it's definitely worth watching.
But this nerd time right here.
Straight up.
This is nerd time right here.
As we pay homage to the great one, Darth Vader.
And by the way, that's...
We're going to cue in the Darth Vader music in the clip.
Ain't that a bitch?
Come on. I don't care how old you are. We will always know that. That's
You know when he coming.
That's Darth Vader's song.
That shit.
Yeah, but you make that shit sound all happy and corny, nigga. Nah.
They got overhead speakers in the Imperial fleet. You just hear that. Oh, shit.
Yo.
Get back to work. Get back to work.
Yo, you want to choke one of y'all niggas.
And we got Grandmaster Facts right here.
Would it be? Man, it's good to be back at this table, man. I got to get back in the feeling of this thing, man. What is happening?
It's like we brought the light side to the dark side.
I knew that was coming.
Once again, there's one mandatory light skin joke per episode, sir.
We need it. You can't escape it.
Man, let's talk Star Wars, man. What's up, man?
Okay, and by the way, there's Jorge.
That's right. That's me.
Dev's like
I forgot he's sitting on the side. And shit, you know, he's on Puerto Rico Island.
Like, forget that dude.
Exiled.
So, all right. So, as you guys know, this past year, Star Wars for a while was just kind of low. Earlier in 2019, like you knew the new movie was coming out, but there was no real buzz, and you knew Disney Plus was going to be starting this new streaming Mandalorian thing. But it's like Star Wars hype. Everything kind of died, and it kind of died with The Last Jedi. People had their mixed opinions on the movie. Some people liked it. A lot of people didn't.
What did you think of it? Like, I know a couple years ago you had a really interesting review about it. So without going back, because we're going to be talking about what's going on now, I thought with The Last Jedi that it was an entertaining movie, but I thought that it didn't do any good or any justice for the whole Star Wars lore. I thought that all the story arcs just pretty much pissed on what J.J. Abrams set up. I mean, do y'all agree?
I mean, I think it didn't do any justice for Luke Skywalker.
It made him a punk.
Like, that's what it did. It didn't do justice for Luke Skywalker. It was a terrible ending for Luke Skywalker. That's my only issue with
his ending came at the force of holding an orgasm as long as he could till he died.
Kinda.
Sat Indian style.
Yeah.
Sat there shaking and shivering, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But what do you think it did to the Star Wars community? Because, you know, people say that they're super toxic, or...
I mean, the community's always been divided, and it just widened the gap even more. And I mean, and that leads into like going into this year. So what happened was then, you know, Disney Plus dropped, and then we got The Mandalorian.
Absolutely.
So, Dev, let me ask you, what did you think about The Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian is completely fire. 1,000%
absolutely
fucking fire. It has like some slow pace to it, but I fuck with it really heavy. It's just a fucking great. I mean, they got Baby Yoda. That's what they're calling it. I know it's not
the Baby Yoda show.
It's not. Yeah.
How dare you? That's not Baby Yoda. You're jumping to conclusions. I'm speaking for you trolls out there.
Nah.
How many toys?
Gatekeepers.
How many toys do you think that Baby Yoda sold already?
They ain't even putting none out. I don't think.
The what?
They didn't.
No official merchandise.
No merch.
They got bootleggers everywhere putting stuff out. So,
they'll sell you a grown Yoda. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck grown Yoda.
Girls don't care about that shit. They cry when they see Baby Yoda.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it got back to what Star Wars was. When Star Wars was first introduced and how it came about is that this is a space odyssey based on a Western. So you had that Han Solo character that basically travels the cosmos, basically in the ship, and would go from planet to planet. He had his buddy with him, Chewie, and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, the whole Jedi persona built up. That whole thing of Luke and everything. And once again, Dev always says, as soon as you bust out the barber clippers, the whole
I ain't gonna grab it yet. That's not. If y'all see me making funny faces and shit like that, is because I also work behind the camera and in front of the camera, so I had to make sure everything's fucking working at the same time. Because I don't have the new force powers that we'll talk about, where people could do all kind of extra shit, like make myself be over there and see what's happening over here and all types of shit.
That's a force projection. He's actually producing and he's starring in the show.
But now, I mean, like personally, and I agree with you. I think that one thing with The Mandalorian is they found a way to actually make you feel as though you're in that original episode 4, 5, and 6, New Hope on. It had the same simplicity, like you said, that sometimes there's downtime. People don't like that. I think it's kind of cool. It creates the mode. Like just when you see like Mando looking off in the desert, just chilling, it's just like people, they're so used nowadays to action. They want all the fighting all the time.
It felt like a video game to me at first.
Right.
Like
that's
basically,
what
it felt like a video game where he would go and do a mission and then he would go and get the medal. What is it called? The
the Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, but whatever it's called. I
forgot what it's called.
Whatever it was.
Excrements?
No, that's not what it's called.
I found shit.
No, that's not what it's called. But he would take that, and then they would be able to make his armor from it, and it felt like you were upgrading your character.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. You know what I mean?
Valerian Steel.
No. So that's not it.
So he would go on these like side missions and everything, and every time he went on the mission, like he went on maybe around like 6 missions in his entire show.
Beskar, maybe.
Yes. Okay.
Beskar steel or armor or whatever the hell it is. And every time he got one, took it to the lady, got it molten down, and then got a new plate. By the end of the fucking show,
he's upgraded.
He looked
it's
like
the guy spinning on the camera. It's like level 27.
Right.
Getting shot by guns. And he's like,
but I mean, ultimately, I think so. Talking about the whole Star Wars, what the show did, it literally gave a cardio version to the whole Star Wars universe, because now people, not only did people start to care again, people who didn't care before now care. The marketing was brilliant. Think about, they found a way to bring the young ladies in, and the girl, oh, he's so cute. Like sometimes there's been girls that would never have watched Star Wars before. They'd be like, oh, I don't like all that sci-fi stuff, but they're, oh, he's so cute.
But hasn't Star Wars always done that? With the Ewoks, BB-8, R2-D2.
Girls don't want to
Nah, not to this level, man. This Baby Yoda thing is crazy to the point, like when my girl sends me like memes of different like facial expressions he has, and like when your girlfriend sees you talking to another, like they know Baby Yoda, bro.
That was a marketing genius. And by the way, let it be known whose idea this was. It was Dave Filoni, who also did all the Clone Wars, and who's pretty much, he grew up a Star Wars fan, and the guy knows the franchise in and out. And
Jon Favreau, who started the MCU with Iron Man, who basically had one of the greatest Christmas movies ever in Elf.
What?
He knows what
directed
he's doing.
Elf.
Wow.
And did this.
So
you want to reignite Star Wars, you start the MCU, and come on, man, the dude, just hand him the plate.
Yeah.
No, Martin Scorsese says that it's not cinema.
Man, he talks about that.
That's
comic book movies, not Star Wars.
Oh.
And the thing is,
fucking hater.
Straight up and down. And the thing is, I watch that motherfucker's movies. Don't hate.
Fucking hater.
He old and grouchy. Yeah, dude. That's where I work. Sometimes old people are going, I can't get my phone to work. They're just mad at life.
Nah, Mandalorian is complete fire. It proves something to me, because I don't fuck with Star Wars without the barber clippers, without bam. And this pulled it off.
Right.
Certain scenes, I mean, watching the rest of his battalion come through, you only supposed to see one of his boys.
I got chills.
Oh
dude.
my God, when you got to see all the Mandalorians come out,
Bro.
one dude had the heavy machinery gun. It was just crazy, bro.
It mainly showed that there is a possibility that you can expand this universe.
And you don't even see this dude's face the whole fucking show.
Yep.
And you still
except
feel
for the
like
end, and then they throw it right back on.
Mm-hmm. And well, so now leading from the show, now that this leads into the whole rise of Skywalker. So now First of all, I say they need to be very thankful that Mandalorian hit how it did, because The Rise of Skywalker, already people had a bad taste in their mouth about it. They were just like, here they go again, The Last Jedi. And it started off on a losing foot. People are now watching this movie like they're going to screw up again.
I mean, they still was, but cool. Go ahead.
But it made people a little more open-minded. Now, I personally like Rise of Skywalker.
It's fucking fire.
It is fire.
It's fire. Everybody else that's out there talking about it's not fire, man, y'all fucking bugging. Y'all fucking haters. and the truth is, you are the motherfuckers that would never, ever, ever be able to be satisfied, because you want the same fucking movie from 1977, and guess what? It's not it.
You hear that? Those are people disliking this post right
I don't give a fuck. You was completely cool with old school fighting with swords where they were all slow. Ding, 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 ding. Then you were mad when they made the newer ones of the trilogy or whatever.
It's true.
And they were able to flip upside down and fight how Jedis would really fight. You still had fucking problems with it.
Right.
You got problems with every fucking thing. Period. You cannot be you can't be fucking satisfied, man.
And you got to look at it from the J.J. Abrams perspective. So as all you guys know, he did this movie, and The Last Jedi, which we were talking about earlier, all those decisions that Rian Johnson made, he did not want in there. He pretty much said in the interview he was laughing when he read the script to The Last Jedi, because he pretty much took Snoke, who was supposed to be the new big bad guy, and just killed him like a punk. He kills Snoke. He crushes the helmet, the new Kylo Ren's helmet. He crushed everything that JJ set up with The Force Awakens. He pretty much left. And the one thing about The Force Awakens, after that movie, we literally had like 50 questions like, yo, who are Rey's parents?
What?
Yo, is Finn Force Center? We had all these parents.
The goddamn lightsaber. Luke's lightsaber called out to her, and she's supposed to be a Skywalker. We thought she was going to be a Skywalker. Wrong.
Well, but we don't know, because he has not spoken what the original plan was. But all we know is that this movie was JJ trying to clean up what The Last Jedi did, and for that reason, I think he did a good job.
It's fucking dope. The movie's fucking dope. If you got a problem with new Force powers, that's on you. You was only watching a very few amount of people that use the Force in the old movies that you grew up with. So if you're only watching, who had the Force in the first fucking who had the Force in the first fucking movies?
Yoda.
Yoda. Who else?
And Luke.
Oh, and
Luke and Vader, right?
That was it.
Right. So if you are basing how the Force can be used, and you can't do this or do that, you basing it out of 4 people in the whole fucking galaxy that's using the Force. But now you get to see more people, and that it's used in a lot of different ways. So I thought it was dope how Ren, how they was able to like hand each other swords and shit like that.
Yeah.
Occupy the same space.
When Ben took the chain right off of her,
snatched her chain.
Snatched her chain through a dream.
That shit was Freddy Krueger when you pulling some shit like and you not even there.
Sitting like,
I don't want to get too far off, because we trying to make this short. But I don't want to leave out the new video game.
Oh no!
From Star Wars.
Yes,
it is better than all the shit we're talking about. It's better than Mandalorian. It's better than the Mandalorian storyline. Yes.
Dev gets caught up in game hype. He'll play a game. He's hyped. I haven't played it yet, but you sound hyped right now.
Listen to me. Have you played it?
I played 10 minutes of it.
You said the same thing about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. It's the best sandwich I've ever eaten in the universe.
So the storyline from this video game is better than everything we're talking about.
And does it tie in?
Yeah, listen.
Everything.
Yes, and when you get to the end of this video game, anybody that's already played the game knows, when you got to the end of this video game, you were fucking screaming at the fucking TV. It's fucking phenomenal. It shows you more about the Force and how the Force can be used. It's got people that are like witches that use the Force. It's fucking
does anybody need any Star Wars knowledge to play, or somebody who
it would be dope too, because of how it talks about the Force and some of the characters that do pop up that are very familiar. It is phenomenal.
C-3PO's in everything, so he better be in it. C-3PO is the thread. C-3PO is the Star Wars universe. So
listen, man, fuck all that.
We got to do another whole podcast on this. But in a nutshell, like, I think that going forward, I don't know. Like, I still have hope for the Star Wars universe, not just with the Mandalorian, but with the new movies they're talking about coming out. Sure. I heard they said that they're going to actually take the actors from the game and put them in a live action, whether it be Disney show or movie.
But they're going back to the Old Republic 400 years before the Star Wars, like the Skywalker
trilogy. Teenage Yoda, yo dude.
I would love to see.
He might be 50.
Think about this: if they are even talking about taking the guy from the game and bringing him into the real
Joker
thing,
from Gotham,
there's a reason for this shit. It's fucking good, and it lets you know that there are other Jedi out there that just said, fuck this, I gotta go hide. They're out there, and these motherfuckers is some bad motherfuckers.
Or Devin could just be super hyped because he's caught up in the game right now.
I beat the game. I beat the game already. No, man, don't give me that bullshit. I'm a goddamn Sith. Are you out here?
Sith Lord?
I use emotion with my shit, man.
I think we're about to get some special effects. Here we go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, why like that show enough right now? Leroy.
That shit look like every electric oven in the hood.
Yes. Look, man, make sure y'all go play that game too, man.
And make sure you guys, check us out. We're going to be doing this now. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on our Instagram, Facebook, and our TikTok, which is blowing up right now. Make sure you guys check out $1 Million Worth of Game. Party Nerds.
We out.
We out.
Party Nerds, 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 Party Nerds.